some AI and sci-fi. I want to get your your little instant reaction there, of course, because the creator just brought back a lot for me. Like we go all the way back. Obviously, we were talking about Blade Runner, but what about Terminator?
I think what's really interesting to me about Terminator is obviously Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 that James Cameron made are classics, but to me it kind of ended there. They've done the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV series, they've made many sequels, but it's all kind of been the same idea, and I still think the first two, as much as I like Terminator, I still think that sometimes we should just let these franchises, there's so many great science fiction novels and so many great ideas that have yet to be mined. And I miss original ideas. And Cameron, even though Terminator is a pastiche of things that came before it, I still think that Terminator 1 and 2, Terminator 1, I saw Terminator 1 opening weekend when it opened in 84. And it was, again, nobody really knew who James Cameron was because nobody had seen Piranha 2: The Spawning. And I remember that was one of those things where you walked out of the Terminator just like, oh my God. We all know it was low budget and some of the effects look a little rickety today, but it was amazing to see. That movie kicked ass. And it was a powerhouse, low budget film. And it was theatrically released. Now it'd probably be direct to video, but it was so much fun and it made a lot of money in the theater. And, we got these kinds of movies, and I Terminator, and then that was 84. 3 years later, we got RoboCop in 87, and I think that they were important movies but it's still this fear of technology that, Skynet's going to come to life and want to kill us all.
Well, that's the thing is, right, is once AI wakes up, right? What was they call
Sentience. Yeah, it's good. And I think
the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to wipe us out.
See, I think my favorite modern movie about AI is the movie Her, where Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with the operating system. Because, and it has one of, I think, when I was watching this, man, this movie got me. Because, when you're watching this, you're falling in love with Scarlett Johansson's voice as the operating system too. So, it was one of those movies where you're sucked in and you really love their developing relationship. It's a love story about an operating system. And it has a moment, dude, I got to tell you, when he's talking to her and he's making the revelation and like he sits down on the stairway of the subway system or whatever, and he asks her, he's like, how many people are you talking to right now? And she's like, I'm talking to like 4,987. And you realize, because you the audience, me the audience, I thought she was the girl for me, and you think like him that of course she's not talking to anybody else. But when you realize that she is, it was like the ultimate betrayal. I was like, oh man. And I think that's why that movie was so great, because it really had something to say about the future. And already there's you can get virtual girlfriends, and there's already controversy surrounding virtual girlfriends, in real life, and how people who are, you read or you hear so much about how young men are disaffected, and 33% of men in their 30s haven't had sex yet, and all of that. And it's because our weird civilization, people would rather be activists on keyboards than go out and live their lives and find out, hey, it's good to kiss and touch people.
What about, did you see Megan?
Yeah. I like Megan. Again, there's an inherent fear of technology that goes all the way back to, 100 years, to the beginning of the industrial age, even further back than just 100 years, where men and women, human beings, are replaced by technology, or that technology is going to be inherently evil. Because technology is going to want to do something bad to us, or it's going to want... the funny thing is technology can only do what we tell it to do.
What about Ex Machina?
I love this movie. Because this movie's like about the end of the world. Really. At the end, when she's on the street corner in the city, walking off. And I'm like, you go, girl. You go teach us a lesson.
You go take, yeah. Yeah. And, she killed her creator.